Sagittarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late May 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Sagittarius collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for these beautiful Saggies in late May 2026? It is Gemini season. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Saggy in late May. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get this card out nice and quick, shall we? Oh, almost. And for those of you that are new here, I only read jumpers. That's why I do these little shuffles. Oh, and the card twice has pulled a stutter step on me where it almost comes out and goes back in, but we finally got one. We have this page type of energy, which I really like. And I've been seeing this for, I think, other fire signs as well, especially where we lead off. This is usually a very optimistic energy to start the reading with. So even if we do have a little bit of diciness in the main part, at least we have this page, which is a very good optimistic silver lining. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the May subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So if you look here, it's a lovely card. We have this young-looking individual. They have this little hat on with the yin-yang. They have their instrument, which looks like some sort of lute, and there's this little rainbow coming out of the musical area. So it is very creative and imaginative. That's one thing I could say about this. Now, for a lot of Saggies out there, now could be a great time to find something to funnel your energy into. So whether it's like art, whether it's music, whether it's writing, it's just something where I can transmute a lot of powerful internal energy into something outward. So I think that's good. Anything creative is highly favored. Even creative problem solving is good. Thinking outside of the box. I love this card for that. Now, whenever I see page-like energy, to me, it can represent a go with the flow approach. But I always say they're students and they're messengers and they're fresh. So for some of you, maybe there is a situation regarding a conversation or a talk that has been had or needs to be had. That's very possible here. Maybe you have a very thirsty mind in this time where there's a lot of things that you want to learn, a lot of things you want to know. So I like pages for that. Sometimes a page can get a little shy and a little bashful and secluded. So watch out for isolation when this card shows up. But we're going to get into tarot. We're going to let that page do what he does over there. Keep playing music. Let's get you some tarot cards. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. Shuffle it up one time here for the beautiful Saggies. What's happening? And as we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's look at last week's reading, or talk about it at the very least. The reading felt very risky to me. It felt very impulsive, and the reading was titled A Big Risk. Now, again, I'm not saying it was you. There's no judgment or blame here. It could have been somebody else, but just the overall energy last week for Saggy was just very impulsive, very act before think. So even if that wasn't the case, watch out for the coming days and weeks, because that energy still might be lingering around, right? It could bleed over, where it's like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to gamble it up. I'm going to take a risk. And again, there's nothing wrong with some calculated risk, but this energy was definitely willing to make something happen. So we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for my Saggy friends. What's happening in late May? I mean, your power cards here, that's a good thing. Temperance, I believe I got the same card, same place in the Leo reading as well. So this is actually very good for a Saggy reading and can tell us a lot of information, especially when we start clarifying. Let's get a couple more. 9 of Pentacles. Cool. The energy seems much more still, at least on the surface. We'll see what happens when we look deeper. What do we got for Saggy? Interesting. Very, very interesting here, my friend. So we have the conversational talk-based type of energy here in the back end. And you also have a bonus this week, Saggy. We got our good pal, the King of Cups, a.k.a. Kyle of Cups himself without a beard. He's chilling there, holding his goblet, just hanging out. So we have an intriguing mixture of stuff. And if I would say anything, I do feel optimistic about this spread because I don't see a lot of waves initially. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, you know me, I always love to look at the elements super quick just to see, because I feel like it frames the reading and tells us how the energy could flow. And we have a pretty good mixture, right? We got fire, earth, and water. Now, these energies do work well together. They're not your most comfortable energy, but there is this mixture of stuff. So it could be different areas of life, different things, or just different aspects to the same thing. And it feels very chill and very relaxed. So hopefully that's an energy that's coming in for you. But with fire, right? That's your power zone. That's your comfort element. When I see fire, I think of action. So the actions you take, the actions other people take, the actions that you want to take. It can represent health, vitality, energy levels. Usually it's a high vibrational energy with a lot of zest to it, if that makes sense. Um, the downside to fire could be its impulsiveness. So similar to what I said last week. So yeah, it could be a little risky, sure. Could it be a little explosive or volatile? Absolutely. But if there's any sign that can deal with that energy, it would be Sagittarius. In the center, we have the Earth, total opposite. Now, these are both outside energies, right? Whereas like water, that's internal. Fire and Earth are external circumstances, external things. Earth could represent security and stability, whether it's internally or externally. Earth energy represents routine, day to day life. Every day I do this at this time. This is my schedule. This is what I do. So it's very much a planned out type of vibe. It could represent money, work, business, finance, great element for all that earthly type of stuff. It could also represent home and family. The downside to Earth energy is that sometimes it could get a little stale, boring. It could feel stuck. It could be an energy where it's like I'm between a rock and a hard place. So we do want to look at it further. And then right here on the back end, we have the beautiful water energy, matters of the heart, matters of emotion, matters of partnerships, things that we're emotionally invested in or that we care about. And it's also very creative. The downside to water is that it could be overwhelming. So let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we start with your power card. So not only your power element, your power card, we have temperance, which, as I'm sure many of you already know, that's the Sagittarius card, or one of the main ones in the tarot deck. And on it, we have depicted the Archangel Michael, the defender. So this is a huge card to me of spiritual protection. Now, for another portion of you, when I see this, especially in a Sagittarius reading, the clarifier could tell us something that's coming towards you or a way you might be feeling, or big themes over the next couple of weeks. But some of the stuff I think of with this card are restraint, refraining, patience. There could be a lot of things in that you're experiencing where it's like, I'm just holding back, I'm holding back, or someone's holding back. This is a card of patience, right? It's an energy that just lets things flow, where it's like, I'm not forcing, I'm allowing. That's a big vibe here with temperance. Sometimes this card can also represent something that seems very calm on the surface, but underneath the surface, something's bubbling up. So we do want to look at it further, because the downside to temperance, sometimes it could represent that stuck feeling, or sometimes it could even represent a situation that is really, really frustrating us. So we're going to have to look at that. Now, moving to the middle, we have again another very dynamic energy, very dynamic card. We have the beautiful Nine of Pentacles. And we see this lovely lady. She's out in her backyard. She has her pet bird surrounded by the pentacles. Beautiful, solid, stable. This is a huge card of blessings, wins, and victories. I love it. It could also be a very independent mind state, where it's like, I'll do this myself. I don't need any help with this. I'll handle business. It's a very motivated energy. And I love it for the material aspects of life. So especially if you're like work, business minded right now, this could be a great thing. Um, the downside to the Nine of Pentacles, sometimes it could be an energy where it feels like so close yet so far, where it's like, I almost have everything, but this one thing keeps eluding me. Where it's like, life is great, life is good, but there's this one area that keeps eluding me. That's something to watch out for. And it's also an energy that can absolutely feel stuck, bored. Watch out for those dry type of energies. So we'll see what's up with her. I think it could be great. And when we look at the combination of the two right here in the front, chill, right? It doesn't seem like much is happening. Now, here on the back end, we start in with the Ace of Cups. Beautiful. I always say all aces represent offers, opportunities, conversations. They're fresh, they're new. The downside to all aces is that they're never a guarantee. So it could be something that has a lot of potential, but if you don't reach out and grab that Ace of Cups, it does go away after some point. So it's like limited time only type of energy. But I like it. I especially love this one for conversations, right? Because it's like we're pouring our heart out. So again, it's something to watch out for, especially with this energy on the front end that doesn't seem to be doing anything. And then for your bonus, we got our good friend here, Mr. King of Cups himself. Huge when it comes to personal relationships, connections, love. It's a full expression of these things. So it's like feeling things very deeply. So you might be a little more sentimental or emotional than you normally are when he shows up. But usually he's a great sign. He's chill, he's calm, he's balanced. The downside to the King of Cups, as mentioned, is the intensity that we could be picking up here on the back end. So I want to dive deeper in all this, Saji. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for you, my friends. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on Temperance. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Saji, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Temperance time. What's happening? Yeah, and for those of you that don't know, the King of Cups can also represent water sign energy. So Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But let's go in. All right. I feel very neutral about this energy here, Sagittarius, and it was reminding me a lot about the downside of the next card over. So we do have the Five of Cups in reverse underneath Temperance, where it's like, all right, this energy isn't ideal, but it's not the worst, if that makes sense. That is so specific. Now, the Five of Cups is the River of Tears. Sometimes it can represent depression, sadness, feeling a bit down. So, like when I see Temperance with the Five of Cups in reverse, watch out for feeling lack of motivation or feeling zapped. Now, normally what I know about Saggies, you're usually very high energy individuals, at least from my personal experience of you beautiful people out there. Great high energy. So to me, this energy just feels a little drained. It feels a little zapped. It feels a little bored. Just watch out for that type of stuff, and you don't go thrill seeking, especially with what we saw last week. But the Five of Cups is an energy that could sometimes linger. If this was in the upright, I'd be a little bit more concerned. But the fact that it's in reverse underneath Temperance, it's like, okay, it's not the worst. I could deal with it. It's something that's not ideal, but I'm going to try to work with it for whatever reason. So again, whether it's a work related thing, personal relationships, it's like, no, this thing isn't, it's not the best. I need to fix it. I need to work on it, but I'm just going to let it do what it's going to do. There's another energy like that too. So watch out for that. I would definitely say watch the low energy as well. Like if there is something or a situation that's just making you feel zapped and tired, that should tell you quite a bit. So we're going to keep going. Yeah, watch out for anything that feels like it's just draining your energy out of you. I don't know why that's coming through, but we're going to keep going. And again, it could be a situation, it could just be whatever, but the energy just feels like it's just like draining. All right, let's keep going. Let's see what the Nine of Cups says, or Nine of Pentacles, pardon me. So why is the Nine of Pentacles here? Thank you. Okay. And the energy comes around on its own. That's what I think is really good. So we do have the Four of Swords in reverse underneath it. Make sure you're getting proper rest and relaxation. Sometimes the Four of Swords in reverse could represent like someone who's having a lot of issues sleeping, having a lot of really funky dreams and stuff like that. But to me, the Nine of Pentacles with the Four of Swords in reverse, it's kind of an energy that falls in line and fixes itself, if that makes sense. So in this time, it's very important to not force anything. And I've been seeing that for a few different signs over the past few weeks where it's like, do not force, do not force. Like the more you force, the more it'll drain. This energy just allows. Now, do we have a win or a victory? It looks like we have one building up, that's for sure, because this is where we start. If this is where we're going, this could really turn out very well for you in the end. But this is kind of an energy that works itself out. So whether it's a person, whether it is a situation, whether it's a work thing, it's like low pressure is the best approach, because whatever this is kind of works itself out without assistance or without your assistance potentially. Yeah, I don't dislike the Four Swords. This could also represent someone getting in tune with their inner self. So like prayer, meditation, try to make time for stuff like that and make sure you're getting proper rest. Do not burn the candle from both ends, especially with this energy I was picking up here in the front, where it's like, don't let this energy drain you. So we're going to keep moving. I like how it somewhat resolves itself, but let's go in on the Ace of Cups. We'll see. Maybe we do get a very good ending to this reading. So, I mean, we still have the Shadow card too, but let's go in on this Ace of Cups, then we'll do the quick recap for the Shadow. So why is that beautiful Ace of Cups here? Okay. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So this absolutely Absolutely. Can be either an emotional talk, an important one, of course, but the Six of Pentacles in the upright is very giving. It's very open. It's an energy that just gets it all out there. So to me, it's obviously an energy of increase, a win, a victory, a payoff. So it's like something pays off for me in the end. So even if it starts not ideal, like, yeah, no, this isn't ideal. This isn't working for me. This is very draining. By the time it reaches the end, it's like, okay, that actually worked in my favor. There is a very big payoff in the end, which I think is great. But it can also be tied to communication. Now, the Six of Pentacles is heavy when it comes to money. It's also gift giving. To me, it's very charitable. It's open. It doesn't force things. There is this strong energy of flow that we've picked up from front to back, where it's like, just let it work itself out. There's no pressure. Just let it do what it's going to do. Let it work itself out. It will get there at some point. There's no rush with it. But I just really like this. And yeah, could it be karmic? Yes. But it's like very smooth, very smooth flowing type of energy where it's like the less I force, the better. Because it feels to me if there is something that you're pressuring or forcing, or if someone's pressuring you or forcing you, it's only going to delay things, if that makes sense. It's only going to inflame things. It's only going to delay things. You just need to allow something to do whatever the heck it's going to do. And then you get your payoff here. Now, does that mean you just have to like sit around and not do a damn thing? No, of course I believe in, taking action when your intuition tells you to do so. Never ignore that. But the main thing I'm picking up back here is if we're not looking at an emotional or an important talk, is absolutely, because this could be people talking it out, but it does feel like a very big or massive payoff to me, especially if you take the least pressured approach. So let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadows. So I like where we go on the end of this, but it might be a little bit of a journey. If you kindly look in the box, position number one, we got your power card, Temperance with the Five of Cups in reverse underneath it. Now, again, not the worst case scenario, but there could be certain things or situations where it's like, yeah, that's not ideal. Even if mostly everything's going fine, there's like this one thing that's a bit of a thorn in the side. Also, watch out for any things, situations, or individuals that feel like they're just drinking your energy through a straw. That's how I just so I feel like I'm being drained. Moving to the middle, the energy just allows, right? We have the Nine of Pentacles with the Four Swords. Make sure you're getting proper rest and recuperation. Don't burn the candle at both ends. If you haven't had a little vacation in a while, maybe you deserve it. But the Nine of Pentacles with the Four of Swords just allows something to do what it's going to do. So the less pressure, the better. Moving to the back end, we have the Ace of Cups with the Six of Pentacles. That will pay off in spades. Like to me, it just feels like a massive payoff of some kind. Could it be a talk or a conversation of the emotional or important nature where people just get everything out there? Sure, absolutely. But it's not forced. So it's like an energy that flows into place, if that makes sense. So it's like the universe connects the dots. So I love the payoff energy here in the end. So even if you're right here in a process, eventually you will reach this position. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Let's see what's in the shadows. All right, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got for my Saggy friends? And yeah, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They can be a good thing. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. All right, let's get this going here. What do we got for Saggy, please? What do we got for Saggy? Cool. Yeah, so Two of Pentacles. I like this because it fits the theme of what we've been seeing and saying throughout the whole reading itself. Now, I will say this, the Two of Pentacles, especially with its shadow side, normally this is a card of harmony and balance that's letting things flow. But sometimes the Two of Pentacles could do a little too much, try a little bit too hard, or it's an energy that could just be juggling way too much. So whether it's like too much of a mental load, too much of an emotional load, the Two of Pentacles could be off balance just because it has so much on its plate. So for some Saggies, there might be certain things you need to take off that mental or emotional plate when this card shows up as a shadow card. Watch out for certain things that you might think are unjust or unfair. That could be a big thing with the shadow side of this card as well. But the one thing I do like is that it is an energy that just lets things flow and lets them do what they're going to do. Right? It's very harmonious and it does flow. And I still think that there is a big payoff to that approach in the end. So please look into that further if you'd like, Saggy. That's what I got for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the May subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. My May calendar is up and the spots go quick, so you might want to check it out. But for the May subscriber surprise, we're doing another winner's choice. I will choose 3 lucky subscribers to win either a copy of the Tarot of the Owls, beautiful deck, and it's really nice, or 3 custom-made pendants from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, and second, let me know down in the comments, out of the cards that showed up in this week's reading, which one caught your attention most or resonated with you most. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in the Posts tab. My friends, much love, and I'll talk to you soon.